Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new writing vlog. So this vlog is going to be following me as I finish the first draft of my new YA novel. If you guys have missed the recent vlogs, I will link down below the playlist for you guys to check out of my vlogs from this year to kind of catch you guys up a little bit. But I have been working on a Valentine's Day themed YA romance. It's called Coming Up Roses, and I'm so excited about it. Not excited to be drafting it, because if you know me at all, I hate drafting. It's actually torture for me a lot of the time, and this draft is no different. So let's talk about it. It's been a minute since I picked up the camera to vlog. I ended the last vlog and then just did not pick up the camera to start the next one, so I honestly don't even know where I left off. I think I left off before I hit my goal for the end of May, so let's backtrack a little bit. My goal for May was to hit 25,000 words. Basically, the way that I've been breaking this down is I wanted to have a draft in 2 months. So May and June, write the whole first draft. Normally I can write a draft in a month, but because I have a job this time around and I haven't had a job while drafting a book in a while, and I have a lot of other things that I'm doing, I didn't want to overwhelm myself by setting that goal of having the book done in a month. So I split it in half and said 2 months. And normally I'm also very strict with myself that I have to write every single day, and I've decided to not do that, especially on days where I'm working and I'm tired, or you know, I do deserve some days off from doing things. So I've been trying to be a bit more relaxed about it this time around. But anyways, that's the breakdown of how we're drafting this. So the goal for May was 25,000 words, and I did manage to hit 25,018 words on May 31st. So that's very exciting. I was pulling nearly 2,000 word days for the last 3 days of May, which was stressful, but we got there. I was pretty behind for like most of the month. I was just playing catch up, which is very unlike me, but like I said, I did give myself days off, which is something that I don't normally do, but I feel was better for my mental health. We're growing, we're evolving. So yeah, very satisfying to see this all filled out. Very excited about it. But that brings us to now, to June. It's currently June 12th. This is what the spread is looking like currently. Yesterday I hit 29,634 words. I've got 3 boxes filled in. Very exciting. Now here's the thing. I've got a few things to address, but here's the first thing I want to address. I set this book out to be 50,000 because that's kind of just the baseline, kind of following NaNoWriMo rules, so that's kind of just what I was envisioning for this first draft. But I also know myself, and I'm an underwriter, and my first drafts, especially in recent years, have struggled to get that, my cat is crying, has struggled to reach that 50,000 word mark because I underwrite it, I skip scenes, I allow myself to kind of just put in placeholders that's like, come back to the scene later. If you hear Chandler crying, ignore him, I'm so sorry. He's hungry, I will feed him in a minute. But yeah, so I've had drafts that are just over like 35,000 words or 40,000 words, and if this was a NaNoWriMo event where I'm specifically aiming for that 50,000, then I would just go back through and like bulk things up. But first drafts for me are messy, they're incomplete, they toe the line between being a 0 draft and a first draft, because the scenes that are there, for all intents and purposes, they're all there. Like the dialogue's there, inner monologue's there, some descriptions are there. My descriptions always lack in the first draft. But like for all intents and purposes, I've got like actual writing there. Like I'm trying to craft good sentences and trying to do the thing. So it's not fully a 0 draft, but I wouldn't say it's like a good enough quality maybe to call a first draft, but that's what we're calling it. It's a first draft, but just so you kind of get a picture in your head of why my first drafts are so low in word count. So I set out the goal of 50,000 words, but I am almost at 30,000. I will probably hit 30,000, will hit 30,000 in my next writing session, which will not be today because I work today and I'm tired, but it will hopefully be tomorrow. And I am in Act 3 of my book. Like I have written the break into 3 and I'm about to write the finale, and it's ridiculous. I realize that, like I know that. And writing this book has kind of been weird because sometimes when I'm outlining it feels detailed enough and I just get so tired and ready to draft that I'm like, whatever, like this is good enough. And then I get to drafting and I'm like, actually this was not detailed enough, I do not know what I'm doing. And so then I skip this scene, and unfortunately there was quite a big chunk in the middle of this book that I realized I did not have figured out enough in order to write it. and I don't like pausing in the middle of drafting to go back to outlining because it's like switching the part of my brain that I'm using, and I don't like doing that if I can avoid it. So I just skip the scenes. And so writing the later part of the book, which feels a bit more detailed, or at least detailed enough that I can come up with something in the moment on the fly as I'm drafting. It's been weird writing these later scenes where these characters are supposed to have like this deep, meaningful relationship, and I'm like, but I didn't write any of the scenes that lead up to this moment. So it's kind of been a bit frazzling for my brain, to say the least. Like, it's just been kind of difficult. It's been a while since it feels like I'm writing the book out of order, if that makes sense, and it's been a while since I've done that. But it's also just been a while since I've drafted, so I think I'm just forgetting what drafting is like for me a little bit. So I'm just trying to roll with the punches, and I know that this book is going to change so much in the next draft, whenever that's going to happen. So I'm just kind of riding the wave. But there are two options of things that I can do here when I reach the end, because I'm just gonna plow through until I type the end, and I could either leave it at whatever word count it's at and call it a draft, or I can make the decision to go back through and try to fill out those scenes a little bit. So it really just depends on how I feel when I reach the end of the book, how tired I feel, how ready I feel to move on to something else, how far into the month it is, because like I said, it's already the 12th, and I have a lot of 0-word days. I have only 3 days where I've done actual writing, so that's not great. That is not ideal. That is not up to my typical standard. I kind of like hit the 25,000 at the end of May, and then I just like, instead of deciding to like stay on top of it for the first few days of the month, I was like, I'm gonna take a break. That does not help me write my draft, you know? Like, appreciate myself for like taking care of my like mental health and like, you know, doing things for me. I want to finish this draft. So I'm predicting that I'm probably not going to want to go back through the book to bulk it up, because already in this moment I feel so over the drafting process, and I'm finding it really, really difficult right now to live in this space of messiness, you know, like to live in this space of not polished writing. And it's because I've just come off, you know, revising my book What You Mean to Me to its like finished state so I could query it, and you know, that was polished. Like, that's as good as I can make the book by myself. That's why I'm querying it. And so it's hard. When I was working on that for so long, it's been a long time since I've drafted and lived in this state of messiness. So it's hard being back there and trying to feel good about my writing and trying to feel good about myself. I'm just struggling a lot internally with the quality of writing. Yesterday's writing session, I was feeling a little bit better about the quality of writing. I think I liked the scene that I wrote. So, you know, it's just one of those things where some days are good, some days are bad, and yesterday was okay, but most days I would say have been not great, and it's because I don't know my characters well enough. Some things are not plotted out well enough, so it's just kind of been a struggle, and it's something that I know I can improve on, and that's just what I keep reminding myself, and it's what I keep reminding my friends when they're, you know, writing their first drafts. Like, I tell it to Peyton all the time, like, it's just a first draft, like, don't worry about it, you can come back to it. But I'm struggling with that myself. It's like, listen to what I say, not what I do kind of vibe. Like, I'm having a hard time, but it's okay. It's okay. I think right now my mind is getting distracted by like shiny ideas, like not new ideas. One's a new idea, but like I really want to revise my adult rom-com, and that I want to do in July, like start the process in July of like rereading the book and taking notes and figuring out a revision plan and everything like that. So that's kind of where my brain is going at the moment. Like, I'm just really getting amped up to work on that project again, which was the last book that I drafted, and I know that it's a mess, and so I'm kind of getting excited about making it better and changing a bunch of things. So that's taking up a lot of space in my brain. But then I'm also thinking about this like newish idea that I have that I've kind of been playing around with for a while, but it's finally like finding a plot and finding like it's solidifying in my head as like a real tangible book that I could write. And it's like it's an adult like paranormal romance, or like It's basically between this writer and a ghost hunter, and I'm really excited about it. So that's something that has also been taking up some brain power recently and getting me excited, even though I am nowhere near writing that book. Like I will probably not write that book till like the end of next year at the earliest. Okay, at the earliest. But anyways, yeah, the brain has a lot going on and I'm having a hard time with drafting and all the things are happening. But anyways, recently, and I think this has been helping my mindset and stuff, is I've been going outside. And I hate that it helps, but it does. So we have, in this new house, we have this nice little like back patio area, and it's in the shade, which I really need right now because I went out with my friends last weekend and I got massively sunburnt on my back because I burn so easily and it's not been fun. So being in the shade has been very nice. So I've been in the shade, you know, and it's cool enough in the shade that I can still wear a sweater, and like it's just been nice. So I've been reading out there, which has been lovely, and I wrote out there the other day. I wrote out there on the 9th and I wrote nearly 3,000 words. So that felt pretty great. So I think I'm going to continue to try to do that since we have some nicer weather. Today's not that nice, but we've had some nice weather. So I think when I can, I want to write outside a little bit and just do those vibes, you know, be outside in the fresh air and not cooped up in a room, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's something that I feel like has been helping a little bit and something that I've been really enjoying. So I don't know, it's going okay, but we may be finishing the book sooner than expected with fewer words than expected, which I'm only sad about purely because then this isn't going to get fully filled out. But that's fine. It is what it is. I'm not going to push myself to write more words when I don't feel like it just for the sake of filling out a bullet journal spread. You know, I'm beyond that. I don't want to do it. So that's what's happening. That's what's going on. I'm sorry for the long clip. This vlog's probably not going to be that long to begin with because I don't think I've got much left to write. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I started this vlog before I just finished this draft without documenting any of it. So I'm gonna go eat dinner because I'm starving, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm hoping to get writing done tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow. I don't even know the last time that I updated this vlog, but hey, hello. It's June 30th, and my goal was to finish the first draft of my book, Coming Up Roses, by the end of June. And I did not mean for it to take me literally until the last day of June to finish the book, but here we are. But I did finish it. Yay, you guys just saw me write the end, and I could not be more thrilled to be at the end of this book. I just truly hate drafting, and this was in particular a really not fun process. I don't even know why. I don't know. I think I don't know, I don't like drafting like this. I don't know, maybe for future projects I need to like sit my ass down and just get back to more detailed outlines. I feel like maybe I've been a little bit lazy with my last few outlines for books and like just wanting to get to the drafting stage, you know, and so like I feel like I rush the outlining and be like, oh, I can figure it out later, but then that just creates a very not fun drafting process, and already I don't like drafting, so if I can just make the outline better and spend more time on it, you know, I don't know. But regardless, I finished it. So I literally only wrote 7 days out of this entire month. Okay, 7 days out of 30. That is all that I did. I'd actually be curious to know how many days in total I was drafting this book, because it's been 2 months, May to June, but I did not write every single day. Let me just count this up real quick. I'm curious. 24 days. In 24 days, I wrote this entire draft. I realized that I missed something in my bullet journal spread. Yeah, so in less than a month total of actual writing days, I finished this book, which feels about right for me. Okay, so do I wish I could have finished this book actually within that many days consecutively, yes, but I work now, and so that adds another layer of things that I need to do and tiredness and all sorts of things. So basically I just worked the last 4 days in a row, and they were longer shifts than I am used to, and I don't normally work this many days in a row with the longer hours. I think it hasn't been since Christmas that I've worked this many days in a row with the longer hours. I've worked quite a few days in a row in the previous months, but they were shorter shifts, so it didn't feel quite as strenuous. But the last 4 days have been longer shifts all in a row, and I'm feeling it physically and mentally. Social anxiety does not lend to being social and talkative with other humans. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired, so tired. But yeah, I worked today, and then I got my nails done after my shift, which, you know, kept me out longer than I wanted to be, but I really needed to get my nails done. And then I went to go visit with my grandma, and then I came home and I wrote 1,500 words to bring us to the end of this draft. Now, before I tell you the final word count, just know I underwrite my books a lot, and this one in particular I basically skipped, I would say, most of the fun and games. A good majority of it I skipped because I realized my outline was not detailed enough, and I got to the scenes and I didn't feel like I knew the scene well enough or the characters well enough to write out the scenes. I didn't feel like writing them, and I didn't want to lose the momentum, and I just wanted to keep on writing, and I know that I can come back to it. And I think I felt in my bones that I did not know these characters well enough when I got to these scenes, that I just knew that there was no point writing them, because when I go back to write the second draft, I will hopefully know my characters much more so that I can write those scenes better. So I'll just skip them, okay? I'm a big fan of placeholders, so just know that before I tell you this final word count. It is a very sparse draft, but it is slightly bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be 1 word count, and it's slightly higher, ever so slightly. But the final word count for this book is 36,400 words. Like, literally 36,400 on the dot. That is what I wrote. I was planning this to be 50,000 words just because that's a nice number to kind of break drafts up into, so I won't get to color in this entire little graph thing over here, but that's fine. There was no way I was going to get this draft to 50,000 words. It just wasn't happening. I know that with a second draft and third and fourth and whatever, I can get this book to the word count that it needs to be. This is just how I work, unfortunately, but we did it. Do I like the way that I ended the book? No, I don't. Like, I like the scene, like the idea of the scene. Don't fully love the execution of it. There was things that I needed to string along throughout the book to kind of make this feel like a fuller ending, and I just didn't do that, and so I was kind of struggling. So put some seeds in there, I'll make it better later. And I don't love like the actual last line of the book, but I couldn't come up with something better in the moment, and I'm really tired, so I just like, this is gonna be the final line of the book for now, and we're gonna move on. Like, I was ready to type the end. So yeah, I liked part of what I wrote today, but overall this book is what it is. This book has kind of felt like a fever dream to write. Like, I don't know, but it's done. It's done. So I'm gonna take like a little bit of time off from writing. I think maybe just like this next week, and then I'll jump into getting prepared for revisions on my adult romance, which is my next order of business. But I think I just want to take this week to kind of catch up on some other things. I don't work this week after today, so I have some things I need to catch up on. I'm really behind on YouTube videos. I'm really behind on just reading and everything, so I think I want to try to take this week to just catch up in my life a little bit, now that writing is kind of, can be pushed to the side for the moment. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this vlog. I honestly don't even know what this vlog looks like. I don't think there's a lot to it. I just have not felt like filming. I've been so tired, and yeah, I just haven't felt like filming. So it's been a struggle, but I hope that you guys enjoyed whatever this vlog turned out to be. If you did like it, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know what you've been working on writing wise recently. I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you've not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!